Welcome. My name is Peter Konworski, and I'm President for Student Life here at Rensselaer. Tonight we'll gather for this ceremony, which is called a Convocation. It's actually an assembly of our academic and student life community, and it's a ritual that enables us to formally welcome and induct you into the Rensselaer family. Tonight is your night, and we're here to pay tribute to you and bear witness to your decision to take the next step on the path to leadership. It's with a great deal of excitement and anticipation. Welcome to the class of 2027 and the students studying in the class of 2028. Congratulations, you made a wise choice in joining us at Rensselaer. You made a wise choice in selecting you. And you represent the You've come from all over the United States, in fact, 43 states and Puerto Rico, and from around the world at large. And the flags to my right and my left represent the nations in your class. And no matter where you're from, we're united in one Rensselaer family. And in that spirit, we say, you're welcome here, you all belong here, and we will support you here. Now, before I introduce the president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, let me introduce three people who will be very important to you in your careers here at Rensselaer and ask them to stand. The first, our Associate Vice President and your Dean of Students, Mr. Travis Apgar. Next, our Assistant Vice President for Student Success, Lisa Trahan. And finally, Janelle Fayette, your Dean of the First Year Experience. And now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce the head of the Rensselaer family, our president, Dr. Martin A. Schmidt, class of 1981.
Thank you, Peter. Well, we've seen each other several times over the past few days, but let me now formally welcome you to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the first and longest running technological university in the United States. We're thrilled you're here, and we look forward to getting to know you over the coming years. You've met Dr. Konworski, so allow me to introduce the rest of the leadership team working to make sure your student experience at RPI is everything you're hoping it will be. I'll invite them to stand as I call their names, and I'll welcome you to hold your applause until the end. First, Dr. Rebecca Doers, our new provost. R. May Lee, Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer for Institute Advancement. Craig Cook, Secretary of the Institute and General Counsel. Matt Termolin, Vice President for Institute Advancement. Dr. Robert Hull, Vice President for Research. Ernest Katzwinkle, Vice President for Administration. John Kolb, Vice President for Information Services and Technology and Chief Information Officer. Dr. Jonathan Wexler, Vice President for Enrollment Management. And Dr. Jonathan Dordick, Institute Professor of Chemical and Biological Engineering. And I made a terrible omission as I turned around and realized that I didn't introduce Pamela Smith, our Acting Vice President for Strategic Communication and External Relations, which means she gets an applause of her own. So I don't want to presume to know how you are feeling at this moment. But after talking to some of you since your arrival and reflecting on my own freshman year at RPI, I have some sense of what's going through your head. It's some combination of excitement and nervousness. This is a major transition in your life, and you're about to embark on a journey through RPI that can and will have a profound impact on your life. The thing is, we don't know what that impact will be, or where it will propel you. Whatever it is, I'm confident that that what you learn and achieve at RPI will take you to great places. For me, when I arrived here in the fall of 1977, I was excited, and that excitement was well-founded, because in my 4 years as a student here, I solidified my passion for engineering, I learned from my professors and classmates, and I made friendships that last to this day. I found the people in this community to be smart but not pretentious, eager to work as a team, and just plain kind. And that hasn't changed. I'm sure you'll have a similar experience. I admit I was also a little nervous during those first days on campus, both because it was a new place and because I knew that RPI coursework would be rigorous. One of the things I had to learn as a freshman was how to work hard. I am sure that for many of you, a grade less than an A has been a rare occasion up to now. You will find the work here demanding, and I'm sure you'll worry, will I achieve that A in my class? My advice, take advantage of the resources around you and of your fellow students to learn together. Along the way, the grades will take care of themselves. If you're sitting here wondering if you really belong at RPI, trust me. We admitted you because we believe you belong here. RPI was founded on the idea that an education should be about the exchange of ideas between professors and students, rather than students sitting in their chairs and passively receiving knowledge. That remains the case today. Many of your professors have told me that their own interdisciplinary research has been spurred by the interests of their students. The learning is mutual. So don't be shy. Your voice is very much wanted and appreciated here. But an RPI education is so much more than just classes and exams. I hope you'll explore the campus, taking advantage of the opportunities the union offers, the many clubs and activities, attending shows at MPAC, and indeed coming up here to ECAV to support your teams. Then head on down the hill and see everything that our hometown of Troy has to offer, from coffee shops and restaurants to the world-famous farmers market. Consider getting involved in research as soon as you can. Come January, RPI will be the first university in the world to house an IBM Quantum System 1, and you'll have access to it. But maybe you'll go out to our Darren Freshwater Institute field station in Lake George, or down to our Center for Engineering and Precision Medicine in New York City. I hope you'll approach those experiences with a sense of adventure and openness. At RPI, you'll encounter people from all over the globe, people whose experiences, backgrounds, and ideas are different from yours. That's an incredible opportunity for you to learn about the world and about yourself. Take full advantage of getting to know the fascinating people sitting right next to you. But I must say, our community is not immune to the divides that trouble this nation and the world at this moment. However, on this campus, we can demonstrate the ways those divides can be bridged by being welcoming and simply listening to each other with a desire to understand. My greatest hope for you in your time here is that you learn how to speak and exchange ideas with each other. I urge you to approach those conversations with curiosity, an open and inquisitive mind, and a dose of humility. If you do, you will contribute to creating one Rensselaer, not a community monolithic in thought, but a community that welcomes all, even if we don't agree on everything. Throughout the coming year, we'll be celebrating our 200th birthday, and you'll be the class that takes Rensselaer forward into our 3rd century. I think you're going to find this a wonderful place to learn, to grow, and to do truly original work. Now, I want to close with a confession. I have to confess that I don't remember my convocation in the fall of 1977. But I'm guessing that President George Low likely said some very smart things. And sadly, I can't recall them. Otherwise, I'd say them to you. What I am certain of is that I was not thinking that in 45 years I would have the job that George Low held at that time. But RPI put me on a path, an exciting path, a path that brought me here as your president. I have every confidence that if you embrace your RPI experience, it will launch you on your own exciting path, and we'll be there to cheer you on. We're so happy that you have joined us. Have a great first year, and it is now my pleasure to introduce our provost, Dr. Rebecca Dorsch.
Good evening, everyone. Let's try it one more time. You'll eventually get it after 4 years. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you very much. Good evening, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the newest members of the RPI Cherished community. I'm delighted to join President Schmidt, Marty, in extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to all of you. Today, as Marty said, marks a momentous occasion in your life. Not only are you embarking on a new academic journey, but you're becoming a part of a truly extraordinary RPI community. This community consists of more than 110,000 living alumni who were once in your shoes and have since gone on to make significant contributions to the world as significant leaders in their fields. When you stepped foot on this campus just a few days ago, you already began a transformative chapter of exploration and self-discovery in your life. Embrace this time with enthusiasm, curiosity, and it will shape the future and allow you to uncover your unique place in this world. The RPI faculty, we are ready to support you in each and every way we can as you make your way through this remarkable journey. We are committed to fostering an environment that encourages intellectual growth, innovation, and the pursuit of excellence. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the academic and administrative deans who will provide academic guidance throughout your time at RPI. And as I say their name, I would ask that they please stand. And if you know who your dean is, give me a whoop whoop. And please remain standing as I call everyone. Dean Kurt Brenneman, School of Science. Dean Evan Douglas, School of Architecture. Acting Dean Shanika Edringzege. Oh, sorry, Lally School of Management. I was so worried. I was worried about saying his last name correctly. School of Management, thanks. Dean Shekhar Gardi, School of Engineering. I think he could hear you. Dean Mary Simoni, School of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. Dean Keith Moo Young, Vice Provost and Dean of Undergraduate Education. Give him some love. Dr. Dorit Nevo, Acting Vice Provost and Dean of Graduate Education. Thank you very much, guys. May be seated. Let's give them a round of applause. On behalf of the entire faculty, I extend my heartfelt welcome to you new students. When you see me on campus, please do say hello. And I wish you all the very best as you embark on this exciting path of knowledge and personal growth. May your time at RPI be filled with inspiration, challenges, and the joy of learning. Thank you, and once again, congratulations. Please enjoy this time of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'd now like to introduce the student musicians from the Rensselaer Orchestra and Rensselaer Wind Ensemble who will join forces to provide a moment of contemplation and reflection as they perform the ninth movement of Edward Elgar's Enigma Variations. Each movement of this work is a coded tribute to someone important in Elgar's life. Your convocation marks the beginning of a vibrant new chapter in your lives as an individual, as part of families, and as a member of this community. While there are many changes and new challenges, there are also moments of reflection where we may realize and soak in the inherent joy and the challenge we may face, as well as the gratitude we have for our friends, family, and for our future. During the performance, I encourage you to take a moment with the music to reflect on someone you feel grateful for, who maybe helped you get to this place, or who may be sitting next to you right now. Thank you for that beautiful piece. It is now my pleasure to introduce our faculty speaker, Dr. Brian Clark, who graduated from RPI with a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering in 2003 and a doctorate in finance in 2010. Dr. Clark is an associate professor and director of the master's and MBA programs in the Lally School of Management. His research focuses on financial intermediation and risk management with an emphasis on machine learning. He currently teaches several quantitative finance courses, including financial computation and simulation and advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning for finance. Dr. Clark's work has been published in the Journal of Banking and Finance, the Journal of Financial Stability, Quantitative Finance, and Operations Research Letters. He has also been quoted in outlets such as U.S. News & World Report and the National Desk. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Brian Clark.
Thank you. Welcome to Rensselaer. It's hard to believe that 24 years ago, I was sitting in your seat as an incoming freshman in the class of 2003. 4 years later, I earned my bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering, returned and got my PhD in finance in 2010, and am now an associate professor of finance, all here at RPI. So as such, it is an honor to welcome you all as the class of 2027 in a place that has done so much to shape my life. So I've been asked to offer some personal thoughts on RPI and provide some advice to help you make the most out of your time here. While a lot has changed in the past 24 years since I was sitting in your shoes, well, for example, this building was a field of a grass field that we used to practice soccer on, much of the college experience remains the same. So let me start by telling you a little bit about myself and then offer some advice. So I grew up in a town called Waddington, New York, and for those of you that think Troy is upstate New York, and if you don't know by now, you will find out in a few months it gets cold, go another 4 hours north to the Canadian border of a town of about 1,000 people, and that's where I grew up. Growing up, my parents were both teachers. My father was a basketball coach, and so my brothers and I, we were interested in athletics throughout high school. When I graduated high school, my goal was to play college athletics. I wanted to play soccer and basketball in college. Fortunately for me, academics came naturally, and I was always able to manage to get good grades. And as it turns out, I was actually very lucky to come to RPI in the first place. In fact, the only reason that I was able to attend this school was that my high school guidance counselor found out about the Rensselaer Medal, which I was awarded, and that afforded me the ability to attend this institution. So once here, I loved my time, and I made use of everything the college has to offer, and still managed to get good grades, right? It's going to be a recurring theme. And so this also leads me to my first piece of advice. So strive to lead a balanced life. You're finally out on your own, making your own life decisions. Academics is going to be a top priority, but you need other stimuli in life to be successful in college as well as later in life. For me, I played 4 years of soccer at RPI. I majored in biomedical engineering, and I made a ton of friends. At times, I may have leaned a bit too much towards the non-academic side of college, but I was able to focus in the classroom and again, make sure to do well and get good grades. And I was able to successfully graduate in 4 years with a biomedical engineering degree. So after graduation, I went on to earn my master's degrees in mechanical engineering and business administration. And after that, I took my first job as an engineer at General Electric in Schenectady, about a half an hour from here. I was designing steam turbine parts for power plants. So that job lasted about a year, as I had realized that engineering, at least the role that I was in there, wasn't for me. So I went back, after having a biomedical engineering degree and then designing mechanical parts, to apply for PhD programs in finance. And fortunately for me, the Lally School of Management here at RPI accepted me in 2006. So my goal after getting a PhD was to go into academia and become a research professor, a job which I have now. But right out of school, it didn't work out as I wanted, and I ended up working at the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency in Washington, D.C. So the OCC, as it's known, is the arm of the U.S. Treasury that supervises the US banking system. And so I arrived at the OCC as a financial economist with a newly minted PhD, thinking I'm going to be an expert on day one. And I quickly realized that I knew absolutely nothing about what I was doing there. But I learned quickly that I loved the work. So my job was basically to go to the large banks, think like Bank of America, JP Morgan, and examine their quantitative models. For me, the job was perfect to combine my knowledge of finance, which I got in my doctoral program, with my undergraduate and master's degrees, all the quantitative skills that I had amassed through my education here. And so to me, it was a perfect mix of business and quantitative work. Then a few years later, my life changed as my wife and I had the first of our 3 children, who are sitting in the front row here today. They're not the youngest RPI incoming freshmen. And by a stroke of good fortune, my former PhD advisor, Dr. Bill Francis in the Alston Lally School, called and asked if I would be interested in a job at RPI. I ultimately jumped at the opportunity and was able to retain a relationship with the OCC for another 6 years while I was a professor at RPI. And fast forward another 10 years or so, and I'm now standing here before you, a tenured associate professor of finance, doing research and teaching in a business school on the topics that I actually started learning about as an undergraduate engineering student 20 years ago. So why did I tell you all this? Well, there's a couple of themes that you might have picked up on that I would like to share. The first is focus on the process. So as educators, we always tell you to focus on the process. We strive to teach problem solving rather than memorizing solutions. I don't remember a single assignment or project from my undergraduate education, but I know I wouldn't be where I am today without the problem solving skills I learned in my biomedical engineering days at RPI. I could say the same thing about my PhD program. So while you may have somewhat different academic backgrounds and interests than I do, the point is to focus more on the process of problem solving and less on the applications. That's the best part of a Rensselaer education. You can literally apply your skills to any industry or field that you want to. Or you can even start your own industry. So don't be afraid to try something that seems new to you, because you never know what the future holds. And then the last piece of advice that I'll give is that life is full of uncertainty and luck. Be prepared and take advantage of opportunities when they arise. In listening to my sort of life story here, there's no way I could have scripted my professional career path 20, 15, 10, or even as little as 2 years ago. Remember, I was only able to attend RPI and go to a school like this because of a scholarship that my high school guidance counselor almost randomly stumbled upon. Without it, I would have never attended RPI, and I don't know where I would be now or what I would be doing. The same could be said if I had never developed quantitative skills at the OCC when I was working on financial markets, that I would never have been offered a job back here at RPI. So the point is that you don't know when opportunities will arise, but be certain that they will. You are all immensely talented. After all, you chose RPI, an institution that has afforded me unique opportunities that have shaped my life. So be ready to take advantage when opportunities arise. So with that, and in closing, and on behalf of all Rensselaer faculty, I offer you a warm welcome to RPI and wish you the very best of luck in your time here. Thank you.
Brian, thank you, and thank your family for joining us today. It's now my pleasure to introduce our alumni speaker, Megan Mulder-Lenahan, a member of the RPI class of 2010, who graduated with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical mechanical engineering. Megan joined GE Aviation as a design engineer on the Edison Engineering Development Program. After graduating from the Edison program and receiving a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Northeastern University, she continued working at GE Aviation as a design engineer until 2016, when she joined GE's Accelerated Leadership Program. In 2020, Megan joined TELUS BioVentures as the Vice President for Portfolio Management. Since graduating, Megan has remained involved in RPI through recruiting, volunteering with Red and White, her sorority, Alpha Gamma Delta, and since 2013 as a member of the Rensselaer Alumni Association Board, also known as the RAA. In 2021, Megan was elected president-elect with the RAA board and began her role as president in 2022. Megan received the RAA Directors Award in 2018 and the RAA Alumni Key Award in 2019. Please join me in welcoming Megan Mulder-Lenehan.
Good evening. As Peter mentioned, I am Megan Lenehan Mulder, and I am the current president of the Rensselaer Alumni Association. Our association was founded shortly after Rensselaer in 1869 and is made up of more than 110,000 Rensselaer alumni worldwide. And I am here to welcome you to our Rensselaer family. Just like all of our alumni, you are about to stand on the shoulders of those who came before you. When you walk around campus, you will see the names of some of the alumni who have paved the way for the rest of us. Check out the windows in the DCC, read through some of the people you'll see there. And I want you to know that alumni are invested in you and the extraordinary education that will lead to a bright future. Which leads me to a story I would like to share with you about someone that I once knew. She grew up in a school system where being smart was something to hide, not something to celebrate, where the focus was on making sure that students passed a standardized test so they could graduate instead of preparing them for college, where your bags were searched as you entered the school and you needed an escort to leave the building because of some gang-related incident that happened that day. She stayed busy after school with activities such as field hockey, track, Irish dance, church, and choir, and she had 4 jobs. And this kept her from becoming another statistic. But the fall of her senior year, she received a life-changing call from the track coach at RPI. He asked her to come to campus, take a tour, and learn about RPI's track program. It was a brisk, foggy October morning when I stepped on campus for the first time for that campus tour, and little did I know the impact that that trip would have on the rest of my life. Yes, this was me. This was my high school experience and how I came to join the RPI family. So in 2006, when I sat here for my convocation, I was an undeclared engineering major and not entirely sure what that meant. I chose engineering because I was told I was good at math and science and that engineering was a major that would focus on that and not on English and history because those were not my things. Throughout the next 4 years, I declared a major. I did research in the campus wind tunnel, and I realized that engineering was actually the right fit for me. Now, I'd be lying if I say that every memory at RPI was amazing. Fall of my freshman year was really hard. I walked into Physics 1 and Intro to Engineering Analysis, which a lot of you will be starting this week, and I realized I had no idea what a free body diagram was, so that was not great. And apparently I needed to be really familiar with this concept. Needless to say, I had a lot of catching up to do. I tell you these things because no matter where you come from, who you were in high school, or what hardships you may or may not have faced, know that you belong here. You have been accepted on your own merit, and we are so excited and proud to welcome each and every one of you into the RPI family. But also know that what got you here is not going to get you to graduation. You will be faced with challenges inside and outside the classroom. You are now 100% responsible for your future, whatever that may be. And you are now surrounded by some of the smartest and most talented people your age, which might be a new learning environment for you. Know that it will be hard, but nothing worth having comes easy. RPI was an amazing chapter for me. I met my husband here, some of my best friends, and have made some incredible memories while at RPI and also as an alumna. While at RPI, I went to India to present my research, was a student orientation advisor every summer, joined a sorority my sophomore year, and was president of an organization called Red and White, and much more. What I learned at RPI was so much more than what is inside of a textbook or what I was tested on, and you've heard some of this already today. These things include who I was and who I wanted to be. 2, how to problem solve, literally and figuratively. Number 3, how to work with and lead teams. And number 4, a strong work ethic. My hope for you is that you learn these things and so much more while you're here. This is a time to be whoever you have always dreamed of being, to learn as much as you can, and to change the world, because that is what RPI graduates do. The opportunities are endless, and it is up to you to take advantage of them. When I graduated here in 2010 with a degree in aeronautical and mechanical engineering, I, as mentioned, joined GE's EEDP program, spent time designing jet engines for the next generation helicopters and airplanes. Then I was asked to join the Accelerated Leadership Program, which moved me overseas to Dubai, where I worked with Emirates, Ethiopian, and TAG Angola Airlines. And once I graduated that program, I ran the CF6 program, where we power 767s and A330s around the world. Every time I took a new job, I relied on what I learned here at RPI. Who I was, who I wanted to be, how to problem solve, how to work with teams, and a strong work ethic. When I left GE and switched industries into investing in small biopharma startups, guess what? I still use all of those attributes every day. Today marks the beginning of an incredible new chapter for you. Make the most of it. Today, you officially become a member of our exceptional legacy of innovators, entrepreneurs, scientists, and business leaders, and know that we, the Rensselaer Alumni Association, are here to help. Congratulations. We wish you all the best, and we are so, so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you for returning through your alma mater to offer those great pieces of advice. Ladies and gentlemen, I now would like to introduce our next speaker, the Grand Marshal, who holds the highest elected office in our esteemed institution. And as per tradition, he will be wearing the iconic top hat that symbolizes his distinguished position. Joining him on stage is the President of the Union, who will be assisting in the presentation of the Class of 2027 banner. This banner will serve as a symbolic representation of your journey through your time here, and you'll have the opportunity to personalize it as you progress through your academic endeavors. Please give a warm welcome to the 157th Grand Marshal, Ben Viner, a proud member of the Class of 2024, and the 134th President of the Union, Ava Gallagher, a December graduate in the Class of 2023.
Sorry, the page isn't on the right one. Here we go. Well, first of all, thank you, Dr. Konworski, for the introduction, and welcome, everyone. It's really exciting to see so many new people on campus. I'm sure the past few days have been absolutely crazy. Everything is new and different and maybe a little scary, but you don't need me to tell you that it's also exciting. You're about to solve problems that you thought were unsolvable. You're about to discover passions that you never knew you had. And you're about to meet peers, mentors, and friends from different places with different stories. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we chose to come to RPI. And at RPI, we're all here to change the world in one way or another. You might be here for our academics, or maybe our clubs, maybe our athletics, or maybe just because it was your best option. But no matter why you decided to send in your deposit, this place is your home for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. And take it from a student, that time is really going to fly by. I'm not going to be the person who tells you that you need straight A's or that you need to attend every lecture on time. I'm sure you've already heard that enough times. And I'm not going to tell you something like, get involved or leave your comfort zone, because I know all of you already will. But I will tell you that you have the tools to make your experience at RPI whatever you want it to be. Yes, you'll have some bad days. Finals week exists. But you'll have places to do the things you enjoy and people to support you through your success and your struggles. I truly believe that your college experience is what you make of it. Not everything will be perfect. You'll have difficult classes, less than ideal projects, and sometimes feel like everything is working against you. But it's important to understand that every single person you meet at RPI wants you to succeed. And no matter what resources you need or want, that change is only one question or one email away. And that's why Ava and I are here today. Through student government, we saw the opportunity to change RPI for the better. And if student government is not your thing, there are countless opportunities to lead in clubs, sports, and even classes. So just send that email. So join clubs, pull some all-nighters, ask questions, make friends, eat cereal for dinner. And if you want something to change, change it. At RPI, we are all here to change the world. But remember that the first step to changing the world is changing the world around you. And with that, good luck and welcome home.
Ben and Ava, thank you both for being with us today and throughout the weekend. So over the past few days, we've been actively engaged with one another and embracing our extended family here at Rensselaer. It's been a fulfilling experience for us as we found ways, and hopefully you have too, to contribute to our community, to actively participate in diverse activities, programs, and hall meetings. And your time together has likely been filled with excitement and adventure, from engaging in sports like rugby to exploring the art of laser cutting. You've immersed yourselves in the vibrant Rensselaer community through our Traditions Tour and honed your creative skills in drawing. And let's not forget the thrill of rocket launching and the harmonious joy of singing a cappella. But what's truly special is how we've come together and found unique ways to connect with the community we all now call home. As you look closer, you might recognize some friendly faces among us, forming the foundation of the bonds we've built during this journey. So as we continue to grow together and thrive together, let's cherish these moments and remember the beautiful memories we've created as a unified community. Here's to our shared experiences and the connections that will endure long after these days have passed. Thank you all for making this journey memorable and meaningful, and cheers to our Rensselaer family.
I like my Jolly Ranchers. I like rum.
Almond butter Boris.
I like my snacks.
I just bought a few cup noodles.
Attack it. There we go. Can you reach? Baby,
I'm going to go a little off script here. You were all the stars of that show, but I wanted to ask you just to give me a little bit of a round of applause for the people who are behind the scenes, our facilities, dining service, our photographers, our videographers. And I want you to know everyone here is excited for your arrival, and everyone will be supporting you as you go forward. So thank you for that support for that group behind the scenes. Anyway, we're almost done, but our academic community has a number of traditions, and among one stands out as a special place for this institution. That's the alma mater. So today we have the honor to present a harmonious collaboration of our diverse singing groups. They'll grace us with a rendition of the alma mater, and we kindly request everyone to join in afterwards. So please rise to your feet now as we celebrate this cherished moment together. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that we welcome Father Larry Rice, our esteemed Institute chaplain, to lead us in a moment of benediction. Please join me in giving him your full attention as he imparts his words of blessing upon us. Thank you.
Let us pray. God, all merciful and generous, at the beginning of this academic year, we come together as a diverse and curious people, aware of our differences, but united by the challenges we face. We ask for your guidance and grace at the start of this new season. Give us hearts and minds that are curious enough to seek the truth and courageous enough to engage the truth we find together. Give us the drive to change the world and the ethical principles to change it only for the better. When we are tempted to go beyond healthy competition, teach us to collaborate effectively and to lift each other up. Help us to be proud of each other's achievements while remaining humble in our own. If we are discouraged or anxious about the future, give us enough hope to reach out to each other and help us to meet each other's vulnerability with compassion and empathy. In a culture that is divided by ideology and politics, make us agents for unity and participants in dialogue. Help us to put aside enmity and to seek the common good of all people. As every bridge is a marvel of engineering, precision, and creativity, help us to build bridges between people separated by ideas, beliefs, or identity. May inclusivity and diversity be our strengths as we rejoice in the infinite variety of talents, gifts, and cultures that you have brought together in this place. Oh God, we give you thanks for the opportunities that lie ahead of us. We are grateful for the joy that comes from discovery. May this academic year be marked by your blessings of us individually and as a community. Amen. Amen.
Well, welcome to the family. Now that you've been inducted and have joined us in singing our alma mater, it's time for a little celebration. So please join us outside for some ice cream. We'll have the opportunity to connect with members of the Institute leadership. 1 minute. Kindly stand and remain in place until the stage party has left the area. We extend our warmest welcome and congratulations to you and wish you immense success. Tomorrow marks the beginning of your first day of classes, so get excited, get ready to thrive, and get a good night's sleep. We'll see you outside.